See Weather Lab. Here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, the daily chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms will continue over the next couple of days, but by Sunday, rain chances may actually start to go down, especially if we have a tropical system developing off to our south and east. We're going to have the very latest on that disturbance and what could be a subtropical or tropical storm later this big holiday weekend coming up in just a bit. First off, though, as we look at the big picture, and this is what we're looking at, some of the dominant features. We have a big, large ridge of high pressure that will be a blocking ridge of high pressure, at least for Texas on westward. That's centered over by Mexico. And in the upper levels, there's this upper level low right here. So as we get down into the southern Gulf, you can see that dry air pushing across the Yucatan. We also have enhanced winds aloft, so there's wind shear going on. But eventually we think this mess begins to move northward, gets caught in this upper level low, and in tandem they move to the north, northwest, or north as we go deeper into the weekend. So more on that in just a bit. First off, our local weather pattern. Well, a good scattering of showers and storms today. It was about a 40% type of day. I think we see much the same tomorrow, leaning toward about a 50-50 proposition. And then Saturday, maybe even a slightly better chance of storms. So Futurecast not indicating much change. Quiet overnight tonight, maybe a renegade shower, but it's all quiet this evening. Then showers offshore will start to move inland during the course of the afternoon, especially mid-afternoon. We'll see some action marching north. Also, there's going to be some energy coming at us from the north as well. So scattered storms possible not only tomorrow afternoon, but perhaps into early tomorrow evening before things quiet down. And then we repeat and rinse as we go into Saturday. Start off with mostly sunny skies and then a good scattering of showers and storms. I'm going a little bit higher Saturday on the rain chances at about 60%. So it is that time of year. Meanwhile, it's a little early in the season for the tropics, but certainly late May is not unusual for a tropical system to develop, and we have that low pressure down here by the Yucatan, but it's poorly organized right now. We don't see any storms clustering near this area of low pressure, but I think by this time tomorrow that's going to change, especially just east of where we have this L at, that weak low pressure system. National Hurricane Center, when they get up to a 90% chance of development, more than 9 times out of 10 it becomes a system, and we think it'll go to a subtropical, tropical depression, or a subtropical storm. If so, the first name on the list this year would be Alberto. Now, looking at the tropical models, which are still unreliable when we don't have a definitive low quite yet, we do think this system will get into the central and eastern Gulf of Mexico come Saturday. That's when we'll probably see it getting upgraded to some sort of organized system. Then the models are more tightly clustered than what we showed you a little bit earlier today from southeastern Louisiana over toward the western Florida Panhandle. But as it makes landfall, we're thinking around Monday it may meander for several days. So rainfall is going to be the big issue with this system. So here's the European run earlier today, which is all, by the way, a pretty strong run here, indicating not only a mid-range tropical storm, but very close to hurricane intensity by Monday. And again, as we put one model projection, it is not an actual forecast, but it gives us an idea on where all the weather is going to be with this system, and hopefully it stays east of New Orleans as well, but it does not look good for Mississippi, Alabama, Florida Panhandle, where the heavy rains will be, and then the European model takes us northward and moves it along. Meanwhile, the GFS is much weaker, a broad low pressure system that makes landfall sometime around Monday as well, but we think although the GFS was on the system a long time before the European model, it's not the preferred solution at this point. So we'll look at the European model numbers with respect to rainfall. And again, this is not a done deal, but it gives us an idea who's going to get the flooding rains. Just east of New Orleans into Biloxi, Mobile, 8 to 10, 12 inches of rain could be common in spots. Also heavy rains across Florida as well. For us, we're not looking at much right now, but there will be the chance of some scattered storms as we go into Monday and beyond. But right now we're playing it close to the vest that it's not going to be a main issue here. So a quiet night tonight, 72 the low, 90 the high tomorrow. Rain chance at about 50%. And as we move down the road, rain chances still there. We'll keep storm chances in there, but these numbers could go down or up. So just keep watching us and watching the Gulf just in case there are any changes. And oh, by the way, big heat developing toward the end of that 10-day forecast. And for marine interests offshore, southeastern Louisiana offshore blocks should prepare for tropical tropical storm conditions moving in as early as late Sunday into Monday, but that's for our offshore friends that work offshore the southeast Louisiana coast and then points to the east as well.
All right, thanks, Rob.